Ah, well, my computer died completely and apparently took the rest of my technology with it. What happened, sir? Uncool. Uncool. That's the behavior I expect from my laptop, not desktop. How dare you? Uncool. Let me go and make more or less working. Crashed everything. I see that. Okay, I'm back. And back to sewing as well. Okay. I don't think it's going to take me much more than an hour to get this guy all together. So that's going to be cool. It's essentially going to make him take half the amount of time as the mom bear. Because I think the mom bear, I was at 4 hours before I started doing the hand sewing. For a grand total of like 7 and some hours. This guy, I think I was only at 2 hours. So if I go to a little over an hour, that puts me about 3.5 ish. So half the time. Okay. Little bear's arm is on. Stab him in the ass. Good. Bury that thread and snip the extra off. Oops, gonna just sew that right around his nose. Ah, come on. Ah, trying to shove the needle through like 2 layers of Minky there, right in the seam. Not a fan. Fighting back. I agree. A fuzz on the string. We don't need a fuzz. Unnecessary fuzzing. Oh, I did not. I should though, shouldn't I? That would be a good thing. Thank you for the reminder. So, through trial and error of it keeps dying on me, I have learned that the microphone lasts for about 4 hours and 20 minutes. $4.20, yes. Isn't that fun? Okay. Him's got legs. Him's gonna get his ruff next, I think. I did not go and get a hair tie either. I said I was gonna do that like at the beginning of the stream. I just didn't. Oh well. Okay. Whoops, I don't want to pull that tight. Just want to close up that gap at the top. Tie that off. And then I'm going to put the ruff on the little owl. And I'm going to do this one the same way as the other two bears, where technically you can spin it around their necks because it's not actually going to be sewn onto the owl. I'm essentially using it like a collar. There we go. That's on. I think this is the point where I was about at 2 hours on the big mom owl bear, and I was like, "Ah, I have the ears, tail, and the little tufts left to do." I'm at 48 minutes now. I am 2 hours ahead. The little guy is so much easier to sew. He took less time to stuff, and he's taking less time to sew because I didn't have any of those little toe beans or anything to deal with. His head looks so naked. Maybe I'll do his ears next, just so he doesn't look naked. Him bald. Him needs his little ear tufts. Okay. Ear tufts. I'm not making the same mistake as the mom owl bear. I'm going to be starting from the top because this side seam that they have right the that like that dart to turn their faces from flat to round is right where I want the top of the feathers to be. That's just a nice little place to line them up. So I'm going to start there rather than working towards there. I did that wrong on the mom bear, but that's because the flaw in the fabric was at the bottom, so I wanted to make sure that I hid that first. But the result is that like her ears are actually higher up her head than the baby's ears are by about half that feather, that top feather. Okay. That's the front half of the ear. Now we're going to go back up the back half of the ear. As soon as the thread decides not to get caught around the foot. The downside to lining them up with that dart is that now I have to stitch through the multiple layers of the dart to connect the ear to that spot. Eh. Okay. one ear. And starting right at that same dart. The other side. Squish you down. Hold you in place. Stop that. Going to move on me. No moving. Bad owl bear. There's a second ear. Okay, both ears are on. Yay! Let go. You don't want to hold on to your string. Ah, let go. Stop holding your string. You're fine. I'm using it, not you. I'm gonna do the little arm bits next. Coming up on just the hour mark. Yep, Okay. Oh, that one looks slightly smaller. Interesting. Huh. Don't know how I changed the pattern then. Somehow I made this one slightly smaller than the other Owl Bear's bits. Wonder if that applies to all of his bits. Huh. Oops. Okay, give me your hand. Ah, lay down. Go backwards. There we go. One-hour mark, and I only have one leg fluff and the tail to sew on. Hell yeah. I probably need another 10-ish minutes to do them. Let's see. Oh, well, that was the top. I don't want to start sewing from the top. I want to sew from the bottom. I'm going to just trim that thread, and that's maybe not enough. I get a new piece just in case. I'd rather have too long of a thread than to run out halfway through. Okay. Give me your little leg. This Game of Thrones. It is. Okay. I recognize that motif. I have probably got, what, another 5, 6 minutes of sewing that tail on. I'm gonna come over here real quick. Come on, we don't need a knot there. You good? It is butt time. Butt time. Him's tail. Okay, let me center that. This is toss up going to your Witcher. Oh, I'm so good at these music things. As long as they play like the 2 songs I know, I'm good at it. You know, that is not centered. You did not do very well there. You good now? Nice centered tail? More or less? Okay. Ah! Accidentally pulling some of the fluff out of his tail while I stitch it in place. Oops. Oops. I'm going to stitch up. I started in the center, which was kind of dumb. I should have gone over to the side and started there. But I'm gonna just go up the tail inside bits here. Okay, there we go. Top is done. Moving on to just that back. I think that looks good. I did pretty even all the way around. Nope, let go of your foot. You do not need to hold on to your own thread. I promise you it's fine. Okay, so he is just about done. Um, I'm gonna end stream there. I mean, it wasn't a very long second stream just because computer crashed and had to restart everything. But I guess I can fuse those two videos together by the time I'm actually doing anything with those videos. Um, I have finished all three of my owl bears, so they will go with me to my next convention. If I do manage to sell one of them, I will remake them before the next big convention. But after this convention, the next thing I have is a Mother's Day craft market, which I very much doubt people will be buying giant owl bears at. More likely, they will be buying these small little things that I make. So I'm going to really focus in on making a bunch of little cat faces and other things that are in that $20 to $40 range, of which these owl bears are nowhere near close to that. Uh, maybe like 220 to 240. But I will make one for the next convention I have, which is probably not until the fall at this point. I've applied to like 3 conventions for every single month, but conventions are hard to get into. And I've gotten waitlisted for most of the ones I've applied to, in which case waitlist basically means you're not in, but they're not going to say no. That way, in case of like right up beforehand, if they have people who like call out or can't come, they can still grab applications and try to get people to fill the tables because having somebody there is better than having nobody there. But essentially, it means you didn't get in until last minute they panic about things. So I am not in most of the places I applied to, and I'm waiting to hear back from some more. But probably the next convention will not be until the fall. But I have time before I need to make another owl bear, if I even sell him. If not, he's going to just have to sit somewhere in my craft room, taking up lots of space because him bigger than I thought. I was going to give him a little 12-inch cube to sit in. I'm going to have to take the top off of it for him, because, or her, mom, because she is definitely going to smack her head on that little 12-inch cube. So there we go. Snowy did come out very cute. I love her. She's adorable. Look at these little feet. That's where I'm going to end stream today. Ad in progress. Oh well. I am going to find somebody to raid. Who do I want to raid? Well, we're gonna turn the musics off. I guess I'm gonna just dump you off on Fire Topaz. I had to shout me out and Twitch said no. It's the technology. It's not liking me right now. I'm gonna just dump you off on I'm Fire Topaz, who's another plushie maker. You cannot shout out the current streamer. Illegal. Absolutely illegal. I don't know why, but it is what it is. We're gonna go see what Topaz is working on today. She is another streamer who makes plushies. I usually watch her in the evenings when I am not myself streaming. So, yes, I am planning to be back hopefully on Sunday, rare Sunday stream, where I will just be making a bunch of smaller, not owl bears, no more owl bears, probably no more cubes either. They're all mostly done. I do have a couple that I can still sew together. And by couple, I mean I've got 6 more that I can sew together, but I probably won't. So I will see you all then. Thank you for stopping by. I normally stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, except for when I'm not feeling like it. Sometimes Tuesdays, probably not Monday, very rarely Sunday, this Sunday. So I will see you at your next, whatever next stream you catch me at. Thanks, guys. Bye.